say, I have answers to all your questions, or we can help, right? So let's get started on this one. We were talking about, the world's going digital. When I look at the ScooNews partners here, half the partners here are digital. We're talking about smart class, we're talking about, Cisco from a digital standpoint, we're talking about Samsung. We're all going digital, right? In the last 10 or 15 years, we've seen the world go around completely on digital. When was Facebook launched? 2006? How many people here in the room are on Facebook today? A show of hands, please. Don't be shy, right? 10 years is all it took. YouTube, like Google, it's a source of information. We go and look at the videos, right? Now, approximately we're seeing, we're seeing this here. What's that? Thank you. Better? Thanks so much. I prefer the laser mic. It's one of those children that you have in your class, right? I like to move around. I used to do that when I was a kid as well, and I was kind of the child who's going outside class and inside, right? Hence, I ended up in sales. But that's a different story for some other time. I don't have a handout time today. But we're talking about digital transformation, on how it's changing the shape of the world and our education system, so to speak, or how we study, or how children learn and adapt and to things that they see around them, right? But we've seen from a technology adoption timeline, right? Do you know how much time it took for the landline, the telephone, to reach, say, let's say 50 million people across the globe? Any guesses? Close, about 75 years, right? 75 years was the time it took. How much time did the cell phone take? Much less, of course, right? How much time did Angry Birds take? 35 days. 35 days was what it took Angry Birds to hit 15 million people mark playing that game. That's the change. That's the technology adoption change. It's getting steeper. Math teachers in the room, it's approaching the 90-degree angle. It's not a slope anymore. The way we are, adopting the technology, the way the children are adopting technology. All right, let me play a little bit of a game here. You've heard of Snapchat? Everybody's heard of Snapchat? Raise your hands, please. Show of hands. Snapchat? Yes? Okay. Who out of all the people who've heard of Snapchat have tried Snapchat? All right, that's like 10% of the initial hands. How many of you who've tried Snapchat are still on Snapchat? Right, that's very brave of you, ma'am.
I know, it's kind of lost it.
Lost it, right? So, the people who mostly raise their hands were still on Snapchat. And I can tell you without any bias that these are the people born after 1995. Most of the people in this room are born before 1995, and hence you're not on Snapchat because you don't see the value in it. What do you use? Use WhatsApp, right? Do you think the kids use WhatsApp nowadays? They don't. They're on Insta. They're on Snapchat. They don't see the value. And that's the digital divide. The kids that you're teaching today are the digital natives. We, on the other hand, unfortunately, are the digital aliens. And that's where the digital divide is. How are you going to bridge that? We saw an example, ma'am, that you showed there in terms of what the teacher expects in terms of the cat and the mouse, the milk, right? That's our understanding of the children, which is wrong. You put it in the digital space, we are way off mark. How are you going to bridge that? Start using Snapchat or Instagram. Right, so when we talk about the future skills, we're talking about the goals. So we did a little bit of research and I'm just going to talk a little more about it. When we're talking about the schools at the grading level from grade 3 to 5, then 6 to 8 in high school and higher ed, there are the 4 C's that we talk about, the collaboration, the communication, the creative thinking. There are different agenda for the teachers at every single age or every single class. At the basic level, let's say from class 2 to 5, we're looking at enhancing the basic skills to understand the basic skills of children, right? We're talking about, how do we get this child to be a little more patient, to listen to me, right? The moment we move on to a little more higher classes, we're looking at how does a child demonstrate a thought process in the first place? How do we tell a child how to support an idea with an evidence? Now this is a key point. At grade 6 to 8, which is middle school, we are looking at supporting idea with an evidence. The moment we go to the next level, we are asking a child to express an individual point of view. That's our expectation from the children, right? Wrong? Maybe? Don't know, don't care? Right? Okay, thank you so much. Let's get lost there for a minute. And the moment we get into the higher ed, we're looking at entrepreneurship, leadership, kind of that we imbibe in the children because they have to face the real world, irrespective of what we teach them in the school. Now, the idea of our school system is to prepare our children for a world that we cannot envisage today. That is why the creativity is very important, because we cannot envisage a world that children are going to face. Is that a bell for me? Am I done with my time? Ready? All right. I'll make it quick then. So the idea of our school system is to create or prepare our children for a world that we cannot envisage today, so that when they face a problem that they haven't seen before, they choose to think and not remember. What we're doing today is making them remember. Right? So the moment we look at creativity, it provides different things at different levels. It gives a break from the rigidity of test taking. One of the most important things in our education system that we need today. It gives them an idea to express their own point of view. Imagine a solar system. Imagine an atomic fusion made in animation. Every child will have his or her own point of view in terms of how they want to show it in the class. And it gives them their 2 minutes of fame. It gives them the stage presence. It gives them the pride that we want to inculcate in the child right from the very beginning. I'm not going to delve into it too much. I'm around here for today, most of the day tomorrow. I have my team around here. We have the Adobe badge. Look us up. We have an Adobe lounge right across the corridor back here. You want to talk to us, come and talk to us. We can help you with putting in more creativity into your school system. We are not here to define a curriculum. You're the best people. We're just going to help you get into that with a simple program called Run. That's an Adobe program which we've created specifically for the Indian school system. Look at the use cases between the analog and the digital world is when we look at a use case for a project work. Do you guys give project work to your children? Yes? Why? Why do we give project work? Experiential learning, right? Thank you, sir. So that when children make something on their own, they understand that concept better, right? But we're limited in what we can do in the analog world. We're not that limited in the digital world. We have a lot more use cases from between a digital and a non-digital world. Everything from an animation to a English project work with poems and animation where the children can make those things much easier and have a better grasp of that concept. Right? So we're gonna not talk a lot more about it. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a taste of this thing. We're here We can spend more time with you whenever you guys have some few minutes. Look us up and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.